We live.
We live.
We
What's
live.
up, everybody?
We in
Over
here.
30 Podcast.
Let me go ahead and share it real quick.
I need to go share it. Oh, God. I'm having malfunctions all around me. Look at this.
Yeah.
All right. Let me go do my thing. I'll be back.
Do your thing. What's good? While she goes ahead and goes out to share the video. What's good with y'all? We back for another week of the Over 30 podcast. We got the question of the week. You know what I'm saying? We got some knowledge. We breaking down some interesting, and we getting messy. We getting involved in a little bit of mess today. Ain't nothing wrong with it. You know what I'm saying? Because it's a messy divorce that's going on, and we got to touch on it. It's a part of our culture, so we got to touch on it. But we getting into it. It's the Over 30 podcast, and once she get that shared and she gets back, we actually get started into it. We got a new little intro that we're gonna introduce today. And this is episode 10, man. We rocking out 10 times. You feel me? This 10 weeks. We've been getting it in. So yeah, shout out to that. And we're just gonna keep it pushing. We're just gonna keep it pushing. We want y'all to chime in. How y'all feel about Cardi B divorce and Offset? Ow, interesting. I mean, we got the question of the week: are men privileged in parenting? Are men privileged in parenting? She gonna have to break that down. That's her question. You know what I'm saying? So she gonna have to explain what she mean by that. Are men privileged in parenting? I got an idea, but we're gonna see. And then the last thing we're gonna touch on today is going Dutch. It's a little text conversation. I want to get people's opinions on, get y'all thoughts on, in terms of what does going Dutch mean in 2020? You know what I'm saying? What does going Dutch mean in 2020? So we want opinions, we want thoughts, we want, you know what I'm saying, comments, all of those things. As y'all come in, make sure y'all hit that like, that love, that laugh button. As soon as you get the opportunity, hit that share, because trust me, it's some niggas that should hear this. It's some niggas that should hear this. So let me get her back in here.
Hello, people. I am back.
Back in the game.
We back.
Back in the game. So, you ready to get into your intro?
I'm ready to get it.
You got to get the sage burned.
I'm trying to get my sage burned.
You got to get the energy right. Just make sure the sage is the only thing that's getting burnt.
I burnt myself last time on my arm with the incense. But anyway, I'm having some technical difficulties, but we're going to get into it.
We good. We good. So go ahead and get into that intro. We can get it started.
All right. So it's peace, love, light, and abundance, my beautiful, lovely, amazing, infinite, enlightened beings. I'm infinite omniscient, your spiritual life coach, holistic expert, educator, and speaker. We back one more time, giving you that good contagious energy and conversation. So grab your wine, put them babies to bed, grab your computer and phone, and put them headphones on, and come kick it, chill, and chat with the most vibrant podcast out. You can catch my business pages at Infinite Stars Holistic Healing and Infinite Stars Incorporation on all social media platforms, and Infinite Omniscient on IG and Facebook. You can catch us on Over 30 Podcast on all social media platforms. So you can like, share, subscribe, follow, and watch. This is the Over 30 Podcast. We talk about what they don't talk about. Yeah. We lit, we live, we vibing. Let's go.
Yeah. Hey. Go ahead and get it started. Got to get it started the right way. You feel me? That's what you call energy. You know what I mean?
Energy.
You know what I'm saying? That's what we bring into the conversation. And so with that beautiful intro, you know what I'm saying, getting the thing started. This is it. This is the Over 30 podcast. I am the Political Plug. You can find me at the Political Plug on Instagram, on TikTok, on Facebook, all of that. You know what I mean? And of course, make sure y'all follow and subscribe to the Over 30 podcast on YouTube. Because if you don't want to just sit on your phone and stare at your phone on Facebook, go to the computer, pull up YouTube, go to the Over 30 podcast. We live right now. So, Tisha, how you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
Yes, I'm feeling good. I'm feeling good. This news, I don't know. This news that we about to start off with, it kind of hurt my heart just a little bit. You know what I'm saying?
It's very disheartening. It's very hard to actually process right now. You know.
Now before we get into that, definitely, you know what I mean. Again, we did the natal charts. You know what I'm saying? Well, yeah, we did the natal charts. got deeper into myself. Y'all missed out. You know what I'm
Y'all
saying?
missed out.
But we
That was
gonna be
last week.
doing it again. We gonna be doing it again, and we gonna let y'all know. You know what I'm saying? And if y'all want the opportunity, just let us know. Go to the Over 30 podcast. Let us know. Hey, we trying to see what that the little thing is about. We can get a little taste. Because she is a professional. You feel me? So we only give it tastes on Facebook, so where y'all can see. You know what I mean? How much further you can go. So y'all pay attention when we doing the natal charts. It's to your benefit to show up, so you can learn more
Absolutely.
about
Learn more about
yourself.
you, about who you are. I am the expert. Listen to me.
Yes.
You want to
Now,
vibe out? Let's do it.
now, this will be our first time. Now, one I want to get into. This is episode 10. We in here.
Oh man, episode
Yeah,
10 already.
episode 10. We in
Hey,
here. So
we gotta do some anniversary giveaways or something.
yeah. I mean,
Episode 20. It's 20.
right. Once we hit like 25, you feel me? If y'all in here rocking with, we're gonna get a little something. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
We'll do
Show
some
some
giveaways.
appreciation for everybody that's been showing up. We definitely appreciate it. But this is
Absolutely.
episode 10, and in episode 10, what we doing is we're gonna get into some over 30 mess.
Some messy
This is some
mess.
over 30 mess. Yes, gossip. This one is for the
Mm.
sisters, y'all.
Mm.
This one is for the sisters. You know what I'm saying? Niggas need to watch out. But we get into the over 30 mess. The over
What
30
you
mess
got?
for this week. Cardi B and Offset are getting a divorce.
Let's
How
take a
you feel
moment
about
of
that?
silence for that.
We doing a moment of silence for their relationship.
Yeah. I
Didn't
think
she
it's
already catch that nigga cheating like one time?
that was at the beginning though, so you get a pass, right? You get like one
I don't
hall
know. I guess if
pass.
you famous, when you famous, niggas get passes like that.
You get a hall pass, yeah. I think he
Hey.
got a little hall pass to do what he needed to do to get it all out the system. She was
Mm-hmm.
mad at him for like 3.5 days, and she came
Mm-hmm.
back. She was, she reconsidered, being
You
that he
know,
had, a title and money attached to him. Ain't that how it
see,
go?
I don't. You talking to the wrong nigga. I don't. I don't make enough. I don't make enough money to get hard passes.
You talking?
I
Listen,
ain't sold. I ain't sold enough records to get a hard pass. You feel me?
that's
So
out your price range, huh?
yeah. I mean, that's not. That's outside of my lifestyle. You know
Your
what I'm saying?
lifestyle.
Like that's like,
That's
that's way
funny.
out there.
Yeah.
But they are getting it. She has filed for divorce. The nigga ain't been doing right. Rumors of infidelity and all of that. So it just dropped today. That's why we talking about it. But what was your initial reaction when you first heard the news?
Um. Initially, I'm not gonna lie. Initially, I was really like, I was shocked, honestly, because she got the number one song in the country, and I quote from her verbatim. Um, being the stigma and the connotation around the song following this news, it's like, wow, I can't even say that I'm not surprised. Lyrically, the song was
Go ahead.
very
What's your favorite lyrics? What's your favorite lyrics?
you know what, I feel like I'm poking, and
Nah,
I don't want to poke.
You
Listen,
you a journalist now, girl. Your job
yeah,
is to poke and
you know
pry.
what,
What you mean?
because her lyrics, you're right, and I'm just trying to be modest, and because I know it's women out here that's dealing with that's not in that price bracket, but you know that tax bracket. But her lyrics did just state in the song WAP that she never cooked or cleaned, but she still got the ring.
I mean, that's true.
Hmm. So for me, following this divorce, I'm saying like I'm just thinking like, did she write those lyrics while he was cheating? Because I hear it's a baby
probably,
involved.
probably. Oh, word.
I
See, that's
hear
what I'm
it's a
saying. I
baby
don't.
involved.
I seen the I caught the headline, but I ain't really see. I ain't really read up on
Yeah.
the detail. I wanted you. I felt like you had a little bit more of the juice than I did, so I
Yeah,
wanted to.
I hear it's a little love child involved.
You so messy. She talking about love child, love
It's a
children.
love child
Damn,
involved.
he already got like 8 kids though. God
Oh
damn.
man,
He's a black
look,
man, black man, black man.
yeah, he's sowing his royal oats.
It look like it. Now, I mean,
Oh,
this do seem to be like another Hollywood marriage going awry.
yeah.
Um, Now, from your perspective, give me this. What you think about these type of marriages overall? Like, especially like niggas getting caught up in it, and how you feel about, you know, how people attach themselves to Hollywood marriages.
I don't, for one, personally, I don't really idolize Hollywood marriages myself. They do have a time frame for me though. And obviously, people see them coming. Hollywood, you publicize your life and everything is at the forefront, everything is conspicuous, everything that you do is televised, and, you know, basically everyone is looking at everything. So especially Cardi B, because she leaves nothing up to the imagination. Honestly, she tells it all. She puts it all out there. So
Leaves nothing. That's a modest
yeah,
way to say. She just her ass be all out. You know what
yeah,
I'm saying?
she's very yeah, yeah, that's her. So
But why you think people though like get so obsessed with the shit? Like I'm
it's
saying we niggas seen the cut they people make memes out of pictures of them and be like
people are
couple
attracted to
goals.
those things. I mean, you got to understand, we live in a society where everybody wants that. They idolize that. It's that gratification, that money, that status, that lifestyle, that, you know, popularity, that fame, that fortune, all the things that come with it. They see it on TV and they want that. And then attached with the person that you love doing the same thing or on the same wave as you kind of like, man, I want that for myself. You know, everybody wants that. And
But I mean
they
with the Holly,
attach
it's just
themselves
so.
to it, but and then
But I'm
they
saying,
hold them to a standard too. They hold them to a standard too. They associate their standards with with the capacity of themselves, and whether or not if they make it, if Cardi B makes it, I know I can make it. I know I can
man, but
one
that's what
day
I'm
have
saying.
that.
Like that's what I feel like the problem is. Like people, that
It's
shit is
that it goes
fake.
that deep.
That shit
It
is
is,
fake
but it
though.
goes that deep. It goes that deep to where they attach what they believe to be their lives and what they're capable of to a celebrity. So they put all their faith in that celebrity. It's like that celebrity have to make it so they can know that they can make it.
Yeah, but see, that's what I'm saying
The
though. Like,
moment, the moment Will and Jada came out and broke the news about Jada stepping out, immediately the whole diaphragm, the whole dynamic of their relationship was messed up. It was
oh yeah, it
chaotic.
was no more. Don't nobody
It
want
was
the Jada and
it
the
wasn't,
Will love
yeah,
no more.
nobody wants
Yeah,
that. I seen memes made about J. Cole when he quoted the Jada and the Will love, and they were like,
yeah.
so I get he was like, they were like, J. Cole had us wanting Jada and Will love. We don't want that no more. Like it messed everybody's hearts up
The
because they
entanglement shit.
idolized
Yeah.
it. Yeah. It came a whole hashtag. So I just feel like it just came down
Yeah,
to
and see that's what
everyone.
I the one thing that I speak out against is celebrity culture. I hate it. I hate celebrity culture so much. Like, I mean, even to the point when I just when you see people on TV and people be like, "Oh my God, she's so beautiful." It's like, oh, and then you look and see the amount of makeup and the amount of
Yeah.
surgeries and yo, that shit is
Vanity.
unrealistic.
Yeah.
You feel me? Like
Yeah.
that shit just don't it just don't represent any type of real nothing.
Yeah.
And then you
Yeah.
end up creating these bullshit ass standards about your relationship and what you expect from the person you're gonna be with based
Yeah.
on somebody who, you know what I'm saying, make millions of dollars off selling albums or playing a sport, or you know what I'm saying, somebody who just so happened to marry this type of nigga. And that actually get me into my next question. I gotta ask you, do you think that famous men
Mhm.
can be faithful? Do you think like niggas
Absolutely.
with with clout like that, like run around with their face on TV and on billboards and shit, can they really hold it down like that? And if you a
No.
woman that's gonna fuck with something like that, should you expect the nigga to run around the way that he run around?
At this point, if you in Hollywood, have an open relationship.
Oh jeez. Oh, you fuck
Hey,
with polyamory and all that shit though.
you know I do, but you know what? Honestly, to answer your question, I think it's very I think it's a task. I think it's a very challenging thing for a man to actually be faithful in Hollywood. And the ideal that he wants to live by, the doctrines and the ideology that he wants to live by, and what society in that lifestyle is telling him to live by is two different things. He have women at his leisure. He have his status. He has his life, and then he has a lot of influences around him telling him faithful is not the thing. Do this, do that, and obviously we know is more idolized for a man to actually or promote it for a man to actually cheat than it is for him to be faithful. I mean, the rarity is they have an actual list of men that have not made the blogs if for infidelity, like LeBron James, and we haven't heard of Ice Cube and certain things, certain rapper. I mean, it has a whole list of men that have not made
Hey,
the
I
blog
ain't
for
gonna
it.
listen. I
That's
ain't
how
gonna do
rare it
no dry
is.
snitching, but some niggas just handle their shit better than others. I'll leave it at that. Some niggas handle their shit much better than others, and I'll leave it at that.
Hey, he knows something, y'all.
I
He knows
mean,
something.
I'm gonna just like I said, I'm gonna leave it at that. You know what I'm
Stand
saying?
on it. Now, what do you think? Do you think
I'm.
men in Hollywood can?
I don't think there's no incentive to. There's no incentive. Like
Wow.
when women are like literally just at like they'll just drop whenever. Like what the fuck? Wait, like why? You know what I'm
You know
saying? Like
what?
a part.
After Beyonce got cheated on,
Yeah,
it
don't
was
like.
no
Hey,
hope for
hey, none of y'all
Hollywood.
said it. I mean, but see, and that's why it's just like you know when you live that lifestyle, you kind of know what come with the game. You know what I'm saying? You do your thing. You feel me? Because it's like when you when
So my he's gone, people. I guess I'm here to hold it down. I don't know if it's still going. We're still going. So if you're tuning in with us, I am not able to see what he's able to see on his end, but we are talking about some messy stuff. We're talking about Cardi B and we're talking about Offset and their divorce. We got news that they're getting a divorce today and it made headlines. So we're talking about it. We're chatting about it. We're gonna wait till he come back in. He was in mid conversation and I do not have access to what he has access to. So we're gonna keep it live. We're gonna keep it lit. We're gonna see if he's gonna come back and chat with us. We're definitely, yeah. I don't know if his phone died, but we were having technical difficulties today, so I'm just chilling here. Catch me after this. I am going live. I will be talking about a few things about detoxifications. I think my boy is back.
yeah, yeah.
I had to hold it down.
No, it's all good. It's all good. You did a
I held
wonderful
it
job.
down.
I'm sure you did a wonderful job. Um, where am where am I catching you at? What was you talking about?
Listen, guys, I was just telling them something else about me doing live on detoxes. But anyway, we were talking about if men in Hollywood
Right.
can definitely be faithful.
No, they can't. Check this out. Broke niggas can't be faithful. Broke niggas struggling with being faithful. It be niggas cheating
This
on their
is
woman.
true.
It be niggas cheating on their woman in her car. You know what I'm saying?
Wow.
Nigga ain't even got a car
Dropping her
to.
off at work.
Yeah, I mean, and so it's just like, nah. I mean, this ain't even no diss to brothers because you know it is what it is. It's like this is just the kind of the reality. I'm speaking just in terms of honesty because I think the big part of the problem is that niggas people ain't honest with themselves. You know what I'm saying? So you know, it's one of them things where it's like, yo, I mean, do your thing. You know what I mean? But it's like the one thing that we know is it has to be an incentive. If you're
Yeah.
not incentivized to not move like that, you know what I mean? Because it can't just be, you know, you can't just be pretty. You can't the sex can't just be good.
Let me
And it
ask you a
can't just be
question
she gonna
then.
give me a PS5. It gotta be for a nigga, it gotta be more than that.
Let me ask you this. What about if they're married or entangled with a powerful woman such as themselves?
Still, because because I think at that point it's no longer about like little. It's about the little things now. It's the shit that wouldn't make sense to a nigga like me. You know what I'm saying? Like I've always been a relationship type nigga. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
So it's that it ain't been too hard for me to be able to chill or do whatever. In my past, I have been, that type of nigga, but with my wife, like, and this is what I say, one of those things where it can't be, the sex, or it can't be the physical shit, because that
Right,
shit get old. You know what I'm saying? Like
right.
once you kind of get used to a fine, like, she fine as hell. Once she
Hmm.
get used to that, you know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Or once you get used to just she thick to the motherfucker, once all that shit go out the way, then it's like,
What else? What else do you
yeah,
have to offer?
yeah,
Absolutely. So what are you
yeah. So
bringing to the table besides your looks?
exactly. And so, like,
Besides
shit,
your
can you
looks.
hold a conversation? Like, do you make me laugh? You know what I mean? Do I like talking to you? Like, if all we could do is just sit on the phone for a week or so, and I can't just pull up, you know what I'm saying? Then what it's like. That's how
Oh,
you find. Because
we
I mean,
gotta get
I
into the
didn't know.
attributes.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, we
Well,
gotta
hold
get
on, what
into the.
attributes you talking about? uh,
You just named some pretty compelling attributes. I'm trying to think like, what do men think? What
no,
type of?
I think this is the part that, like, brothers, because it's like, you don't know what you need until you run across it. Yeah, I mean, like, my
So let me
wife
ask
just
you this:
yeah.
what keeps a man? What do you think keeps a man with money? Just kind of play with it. And
I
what
think what
keeps
key
a man with money after all that
I don't
phase wear
know.
off?
I'm
After
gonna
that
be
big booty, pretty
I
face, and
I couldn't tell you. I'm a regular nigga. You know what I'm saying? Like, what would keep a nigga with what shit? I wouldn't know. I mean, because it's just so easy to just get what you like in terms of, like, the opposite sex. It's so many things, like, boxes that you could just check just with money alone. You know what I'm
absolutely.
saying?
And
So
I
it's
think
like
that's a pretty subjective question too, honestly. I mean, I guess it's really vague because you really can't say what works for one person will work for the
And,
next one.
I mean, but I think, like, for, like, what I think what keep a man in general is just seeing, like, the inherent value of a woman.
Mhm.
Like, I feel like for me with my wife, it was one of them things where I was like, damn, I don't want to fuck this up.
That's
You know what I'm
good.
saying? And you kind of gotta ask yourself that, like, damn, like, what? I was like, in this relationship, like, I mean, we was long distance, so we couldn't do nothing but talk. So I just learned to just appreciate her. You know what I'm saying? Like, her,
Wow.
just her voice. You feel me? So we was long distance for like 3 years. You know what I mean?
Wow.
Yeah. So I
Beautiful
ain't had nothing. I ain't had nothing to do but
story.
appreciate her. You feel me?
Yeah.
So like, now that we like actually together, you know what I mean? It was like it's easier to appreciate everything now, because it was like
Yeah.
I couldn't she couldn't keep me with just the physical shit because I couldn't get it. You know what I'm
Wow.
saying? And so it's
That's
like
good.
niggas got to be able to it's about appreciation of your woman.
Hmm.
Period. Niggas that
Okay.
appreciate they woman don't cheat. And that's for the simple fact. I mean, you could love her. You could love her
Hmm.
and cheat.
Hmm.
You could love the shit out of your wife, or love the shit out of your girlfriend, or love the shit out of your baby mama, and still be fucking hoes.
Wow. So,
Yeah.
do you think withholding sex from them is actually something to like, some women have the 3-month rule
Man, y'all niggas
or
gonna be mad at me. Niggas is gonna be mad at me.
he giving
But
all the game today. I'm taking notes. Where my
that's what
pen?
worked on me.
I'm
That's what
taking
worked on
notes.
me. You know what I'm saying? That's what worked
Right.
on me. Like, yeah, like
Wow.
I couldn't do, like, it wasn't none of that, like, for like a
Wow.
year. You know what I'm
Wow.
saying? Yeah. I
Wow.
mean, but we were just kind of talking. Like, it was like she wasn't my official woman yet. You know what I'm
Hmm.
saying? We was just kind of talking, but it was just like, I like you. Like, we visit each other, we chill, but we don't we I'm like, damn, word. Okay, facts. But but I was always the type of nigga to be like, I would kind of whole ass nigga stop fucking with a woman just cause she ain't having sex with you. You know what I'm saying? So,
No, that's beautiful. That's
you know
rare.
what I'm saying? Yeah.
So,
That's what
ladies,
look, I got it
there
out. You know,
are
you
men
seen
out
my
here.
chart. You know what I'm saying? You
Yeah,
already know
I
where I got it
seen
up
it.
here. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you
Ladies,
already
there
know.
are men out here that will take you as you are, and will abstain from sex to get to know you and who you
Yeah.
are intrinsically. Just get to know you and throw it
Hey, but
all out
I
there.
also think, if you're talking to we know that that's another story. This will be for next week.
I, I,
I got something for next week.
okay.
I got something for next week. But let's go ahead and let's get out of the mess.
Make sure you write that down.
Yeah, I'm gonna write it. No, I ain't gonna forget this one. I guarantee
All
it.
right.
I ain't gonna forget this one. But we getting out of the mess though. This is our first over 30 mess. We had to get into the TMZ type information. You know what I'm saying? We actually gonna get into the question of the week now. Over 30 question of the week. And this come directly from the timeline because Tisha be getting it in. You know what I'm saying? I'll be looking through and she just be asking the questions and niggas be in there, you know
Shout
what I'm
out
saying,
to
going
all
at it.
my friends on Facebook that engage, that give me dialogue, that give me conversation, that is not afraid to be transparent and be authentic. Thank you, thank you, thank you. You guys are amazing. Thank you. Shout out to y'all, all of y'all, everybody that engaged. Shout out to y'all.
Everybody. Shout out to all y'all. Now check this out. She got some explaining to do though.
I'm gonna
Cause I
say
need
it.
some I need some understanding with this.
All right.
The over
What you
30
need?
question of the week for today until next week is, let's get it up here. Are men privileged in parenting? Are men privileged? Let me get that question mark on there. Let me make sure it's grammatically correct. Are men privileged in parenting? Explain what you mean by that. What type of privilege do men get when it comes to parenting? From your
So
perspective.
from my perspective, personally, I do think that this is more subjective, and I want to start off by saying this is subjective, and I don't want people to think that this is from my biased opinion. I'm very, very fluent when it comes to like seeing both ways and seeing both sides of the story. I am very authentic when it comes to speaking, and I speak from an unbiased place. So I want to just preempt it by saying that. However, what that means is basically saying that on average, women have more the responsibility than men. Men have the privileges of parenting, being that the woman has to do all the domestic things, all the maternal things, the nurturing the kid back to health when they're sick, and getting them ready for school, going to the school meetings, buying the things, taking them to the dentist appointments, making appointments, feeding them, cooking for them, doing their homework with them, and the man gets the pleasures out of it. Men get to play with the kid. They get to be the fun parent. They don't have the most responsibilities. And even if the man is in the household, being that he's married or in a relationship or co-parenting, whatever setup you have, it is still seemingly more responsibilities on a woman. Now, that is unbiased. Bias. I was in a relationship for almost 7 years. I was my child was about 5 years old when her father and I separated. However, when I was in that relationship, I had most of the responsibilities. That does not mean that he was not a great father. He was an amazing father. But I did have more of the
You better say
responsibilities,
that shit.
and naturally, and he still is an amazing father to her. So I do not have, this is not coming from a place of me actually experiencing a bad situation. My daughter has an amazing dad. He's a black dad, and he's amazing. He's in her life. Her grandparents are in her life, so she have an amazing family, second family. However, when I was in a relationship when he was in the house, most of the responsibilities did fall on me. And it was natural. Sometimes it's also like second nature to a woman to take on more responsibility in a man. But it is frowned upon if she takes a break, if she don't want to do it, if she wants to relax. It's like you're the mom. That's your job. If the man does it, it's natural, and we correspond with things differently, and we take things differently. And for him, it was easier for the system that we had together. It was easier for me to do all the things like set up the appointments and go to the meetings at school, get her ready for school, do the homework, cook, clean up after, teach her things and short things. And then for him, it was like she knew where to go to play. But we could be standing in the kitchen together, and it was like, Mom, I hurt myself. Or, Mom, can you give me this? Or, Mom, can you help me with this? Or, Mom. And it was like, when it was time to play, it was like, Dad, 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 Dad. It's like, those are the privileges. They get to relax. They get to get ready without
You sound a little
getting kids
salty.
ready. I mean,
Sound a
it's
little
just,
salty. Look,
it's just,
I sense a
now
little, I
I
sense a little
did do.
resentment.
they did do biased and unbiased. Now, this is definitely a biased, subjective situation. This is just my situation with my kid's father. But overall, I think the responsibility does lie more on the woman than it does the
Generally,
man. Yeah.
generally. Okay,
Most of
okay.
us was raised by single women, so we can see it statistically.
That is true as well. You can't deny that. So I wouldn't I wouldn't necessarily say you're wrong in this one.
Here we
Um
go.
I wouldn't necessarily say you're wrong. I mean, I do think that it definitely depends on the relationship. It is subjective. We are speaking generally because I know it's a lot of brothers out there that's kind of holding it down. But generally, I mean, I think to answer the question even simpler, in an even simpler fashion, pregnancy alone, and that's something like my wife is pregnant right now, so I'm like shit. I'm cool. You good? You straight? You know what I'm saying? Like, is
Yeah.
it? Can I help with? I mean, like, do you need to lay down? Like, I mean, the best that I could do. Most I got to worry about is like constantly getting her water or going on walks or getting food, just kind of being there, just grabbing shit or whatever. So like,
Mhm.
just not having to deal with like the pregnancy, the toll that it has on the body of
Mhm.
women. That
Yeah.
definitely that definitely is something that shouldn't be ignored. But I will say this: when we talk about privilege, though, at the same time, when it comes to women, women ultimately ends up getting the ultimate say so, and
Mm.
that's an even bigger privilege of not being the one that the child looked to, because in an instance where
Are we speaking legally or in general?
I mean, well, like a little bit of both, a little bit of both, because like for example, in an instance where am I going here? I think I'm gonna do it.
Go there. Yeah,
I think
go
I'm gonna do it. I
there.
think I'm going there.
Play devil's advocate right now.
And I mean, and I don't even know if this is playing devil's advocate, but we're gonna see. We're gonna see.
Okay.
In an instance where the man um doesn't want the child,
Mm-hmm.
the woman is like, well, I'm gonna keep it.
Okay.
The man is still responsible.
Oh.
You know what I mean? I mean, and I'm not gonna play the devil's advocate and go as far as to say that's not fair. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
But what I will say is that represents a privilege when it comes to parenting. Like,
Mm.
or if the father's like, I want to keep it, and the woman is like, I don't. You know what I'm saying? Like, that is
Um,
definitely how that privilege works
I think
the
that's
other
pretty
way.
presumptuous.
No, what you mean? Like,
I
in an
think that's
instance.
pretty.
Okay, I mean, I think it's
What?
circumstantial. It's definitely circumstantial. I'm definitely
Is
talking about it from but are you? But in an instance where a man wants to keep it and a woman doesn't, who gets that say, or vice versa?
obviously the woman
The
because she's
woman,
carrying the
exactly,
child. Obviously,
exactly.
obviously, but she know that the responsibilities rely on her as a mother if he don't want to be with her.
But in an instance where, I mean, that's
So that
true.
that that would be her decision to make, because let's just say they're not together, one night stand scenario, because we're doing situational awareness, right? So
Yeah,
situationally, we're talking about a woman and a man together. Bam, they get together one night. Let's say they have fun, do this, do their thing. She gets pregnant. All right.
yeah,
He don't want
yeah.
he don't want the baby. He say, hey, I don't want the kid. Get rid of it. She say she wants the
Exactly.
kid, whatever. She wants the kid or she don't want the kid. Whatever is her, point of view on it. He don't want the kid. He get rid of it. Now, they're not together. They didn't make any type of, vows to do anything after their one night stand. If she decides to have the child, where do you think the responsibilities? Because that is the number one thing a woman thinks about when she becomes pregnant. Immediately responsibility. Immediately.
I know, 100%. I
So
mean, and that makes sense.
so she's gonna think about who the responsibility is gonna lie on, which brings us back to the origins of this conversation. Privilege. The
Yeah,
man will be more privileged. She will not have that. She will have more responsibilities than him. So it's not his decision to make ultimately, because she's carrying the child and the responsibility
but
is
this
gonna lie on her. It is
But I mean,
equally his child, but the
but don't that?
decision
But
is
if I mean, even
so.
though, but like, but see, is that a question of privilege though? Because we talking about something where,
Mm,
this, if the responsibility is inherently the one way, it's also a lot of the decision making. A lot of the decision making is one way. So it's like, damn, is that really a privilege if I really don't get a say? Then you get the then I mean, and like, because everything you're saying in terms of the responsibility is true, right? And so it's
mm,
like, damn, so if the responsibility is inherently on her, which means that it's automatically assumed that she gonna be the one to take care of it. She gonna be the one to do this. She gonna be the one to
yeah.
do that, and that means that I'm being taken out of the equation. Like I'm just along for the ride at this point. Is that a privilege that I'm along for the ride? I mean, I think you definitely got niggas that take advantage of it, and niggas that dip out, and niggas that ain't around like they need to. And I mean, we know. I think
I think
in no way, shape, form, or fashion are we gonna deny like the amount of single parent homes and the single mothers that did what they did they thing for their kids. But ultimately, all of that responsibility ends up culminating in the most privilege because all of the decision making. So you get all the responsibility, then you get all of the decision making.
I
I'm along for the
don't
ride.
know. I mean, the man being along for the ride can be a couple. I don't know. It can be pretty pretentious too, because you got to think about it. They utilize that. I mean, when you're talking about a man that's been coddled his whole life by a woman, that's been treated well by a woman, nine times out of ten, what do men honestly, when you're in a relationship, you know your woman holds more the attributes as far as maternally, right? And you know the woman cooks, cleans, and all that. Men look for women with those attributes. So he would want those attributes like his mom instilled in him, as far as or showed him, as far as who she is as a woman. So when he see that, he's seeing. I mean, when you talk about a black man describing his mom, he's always talking about how strong she was, how much she took and endured, and how tumultuous her life was, and she still um, trumped through her life with her head held high. Blah blah blah. All these responsibilities really was on her. So I think with a woman being pregnant and having all those responsibilities, and with her thinking about pregnancy and all those responsibilities that comes along with it, I think she's thinking like, okay, he gets a free ride. He don't have to carry the child. He don't have those type of responsibilities. So that is his privilege. But I can say I do see it from your perspective, saying that the woman had the privilege to make those decisions
Yeah.
and to do those things. But from a woman's perspective, we don't look at it as privilege. We look at it as thinking conscientiously about what we're going to do and making a sound decision on our life.
Yeah.
And
And I mean,
it surrounds responsibility.
and so from your perspective, in terms of what inherent responsibility that there are with men. The problem is that it's just like it's all in terms of this parenthood thing. It's all dictated to men from that perspective. It's like, I mean, this ain't making and no way, shape, form, or are we making excuses for niggas who don't show up for their kids. You the type of nigga
Absolutely.
who not there for your kid, like that's some suck ass shit,
That's
without a doubt.
absolutely.
You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
But
Absolutely.
in terms of knowing that marriage ain't always the thing, and
Hmm.
you got women who take advantage of child support and take advantage of custody, and I don't like your baby mama, so I mean, you can't see the kids this weekend and all of that type of shit. That's where it's like that's where men can't do that. You know what I mean? Like a man cannot use his child as a way to get back at the mother, because institutionally the people always gonna be on the side of the mother.
Hey,
You feel me?
listen,
So if
I'm gonna
any,
tell you this now. I know 100. I'm 100% sure men
mm-hmm.
have as much right as a woman when it comes to parenting, as far as
He
voluntarily or
does,
involuntarily,
yeah.
lawfully, legally, or off paper. He has as much right. I am surrounded by predominantly men. I work with predominantly men.
Yeah, you a
I have
conductor. You
seen,
be
I
doing that
am a
train shit.
conductor.
That's a nigga job. That's a nigga
I am a trained
job.
conductor with about 97% men, 98. Actually, it's 1% women out there. To be technical, it's 1% women out there. So when I say I'm around men, single fathers that actually have legal 50% custody over their kids, I see it every day. I
No,
see
I
it
mean
every day.
it
The
should.
system is jacked up, but black men don't fight as much as white men. They do not, they allow it to be. I don't think legally, I don't think they fight as much. No, I
I
don't
mean,
think a black man show up as much in court as they want to say they do. I don't think they take their woman to court. Now, ideally, I know they will not take a child from the mother.
yeah,
It has to be substantial evidence to take a kid from his mother or her
facts,
mother.
facts.
However, oftentimes black men don't show up. Or
No,
oftentimes they
but you,
already got a track record so long they can't show up.
but at the same time, though, the problem with that is, you know, black men don't get the same. Like we got a whole different relationship with courts, regardless, than white men. You know what I'm saying? And that leaks into, you know what
That's
I'm
true. This
saying,
is
like,
true.
you know, how comfortable a nigga, because like we already got a pessimistic approach. The judge already, she gonna tell the judge I'm all types of thugs. She gonna tell him I be
That's
around,
true.
my brother been in jail and do, you know what I'm saying? And so it's just like, why the fuck I'm gonna go there, put on this suit and tie for these white folk to look at me crazy and tell me I don't deserve my child? Just let me see my son. You know what I'm saying? Like we don't need all that. You feel me?
On the
And the fact,
contrary, biasly,
mm,
I've been around single fathers that took their kid's mother to court and actually won custody, full custody, sometimes full
yeah,
custody, if not joint.
I know niggas with I know niggas with full custody of their kids. But I just think that in terms of, you know, how black men just get treated in court in general, it's like just because
Yeah,
it's family court don't mean that they don't look at niggas the same way. You know what I'm
yeah,
saying? Like we don't get
yeah,
the same advantage. Like, and look, don't let a nigga have a tattoo, or don't let a nigga have a record, or you know what I'm saying, have family with a
exactly.
record, that type of shit. Because then
Absolutely.
the courts is just like, nah, you know, oh, you know, Your Honor, you know, he got his cousin did this and this person did that, and it's like, nah, it's easier to
Mhm.
criminalize us than other
Yeah,
niggas.
yeah.
You know what I mean? So that's why
I
I feel
don't
like,
know.
ultimately, and overall, I do think that when it comes to child rearing and parenting and that type of shit, men don't have as much of the assumed responsibility,
Right.
the assumed like this is what. And so and I don't think we pay enough attention to that. I mean, seeing, yeah, I mean, that's why I try to be there for my wife in terms of her pregnancy, just because, like, damn, like you getting like gaining weight. Like, let me watch my tongue. Because I was about to say you getting big. Like you don't talk like that. You don't talk like that.
She gonna
But
watch this and kick your ass.
yeah, like I can't help it sometimes because like I just make off color jokes, and so I'm used to just being like that, and it's like, nah, nigga, you can't talk like that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
So
she
I'm
definitely
trying
gonna
to
kick
be
your
more. I'm trying to
ass.
be conscious of that because, you know, what she going through physically, and then what she gonna go through after the baby in terms of just kind of getting back to
Mhm,
herself and doing that. That's a lot.
mhm.
You know what I'm
It
saying? That's
is
a lot. That's why I think ultimately, overall, just the
responsibility.
that exactly that responsibility come from the fact that, like, that's Mother Earth right there. That's where you plant the seed, and that's what the seed
Yeah,
grow out of.
yeah,
You know what I mean?
absolutely.
And I think it deserves, like, women deserve, even, you know, even though we've had this conversation of privilege, ultimately I think women all in all deserve like that respect and recognition to be like, yo, thank you. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? Like,
absolutely.
because you're right, a nigga could break out and then be like,
Yeah,
damn, he ain't shit. But a woman leave her
they have
child.
a choice. Yeah, and it's
A
frowned
woman, like,
upon.
you throw her like, oh,
Yeah,
she's a terrible person.
right. Yeah, she's
Terrible. You know what
thrown
I'm saying?
under the
So
bus. Absolutely, it's unheard of. And the rarity comes in where even if a man, on the contrast, if he was a single father, he would be praised. He would be honored. He would be given a key to the city.
mhm.
And he would utilize that as him being a prize and an attachment to who he is. Like that would be the leading thing that he say dating. I'm a single father. I mean, women just melt over that type of stuff. Like, what? That's how rare it is. That's how rare it is.
Yeah, and I mean, we need to give sisters that same respect. Just
We
cause y'all
do.
used to niggas, just cause y'all used to niggas taking off.
Shout out to
You know what I'm
all the
saying?
single mothers, all the women that's getting it, all the women that feel like she have all the responsibilities. I'm proud of you. You go, girl.
Shout out
You
to
go,
you.
girl. And the
So
single fathers, you're not exempt.
yeah,
You
hey, shout
know,
out to
shout
people
out to
taking care
single
of
fathers.
kids. If you
Yeah,
taking
there
care
we
of a
go.
child, you know what I'm saying. If you had a child, raised a child, adopted a child, you know what I'm saying,
Absolutely.
became the guardian of a child, and you know what I mean, you
Absolutely.
working your ass off to make sure that child is taken care of and doing what you can to
Absolutely.
teach them. Thank you,
Absolutely.
thank you.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So the last thing we're gonna get into today, again, this is fresh off Tisha's timeline.
No
Is we
snap.
talking about we talking about dating real quick. We're gonna talk about dating real quick. Now, I want to preface this with a I guess it's like a meme conversation that took place. Let's see. Let me share my screen real quick. It's a meme conversation that took well, not necessarily a meme conversation, but a conversation that took place. I'm gonna be for real. When I see these type of text conversations, I never think this shit is real. I think somebody kind of made some shit
I
like this
think
and just
so
put it on the
too.
internet.
You know what? I think
Nobody,
the
this don't
same
fucking happen.
thing.
People don't fucking
Yeah.
talk like this.
Like, no, this is not it.
Yeah, like every time I see these type of fucking text messages, like y'all be lying.
Yeah.
But
I think.
let's see. Let me make sure it's the right thing here. Yep, this is it. Let's look at it. So in this conversation, you have this clean brother here leaned up against his car talking about where do we go from here. Now let's
Mhm.
start there. The fuck,
Yeah.
who who knows what happened in the conversation beforehand, which I think it must have been, they must have been feeling each other because the response is where would you like to go. You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying? That so it leads me to believe that the prior conversations were kind of like, okay, what's up? You know what I'm saying? Like, but I think like where do we go from here? Like with no emoji, you know what I'm saying? No LOL question mark. You know what I'm saying? Nigga ain't playing no kind of coy. I
Yeah.
mean,
You know,
ain't no
no
text game.
anecdotes. Yeah,
Nigga,
I'm
yeah, nigga
tired
ain't
of
got no
that.
text game. This nigga talking about where do we
Yeah.
go from
I
here?
need some. I need some.
So I'm
Excuse me.
like,
I need
yeah,
some
like what does that
excitement.
even
Yeah.
mean? Like you got to hit him with the where do we go from here? Question face. You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
or the eye emoji or something. It's 20 fucking 20.
Mm.
You don't just say where. That's like when we
It's-
used to, I remember when I was in middle school, in high school, early my freshman year in high school, my game was what's up with me and you. You know what I'm saying? What's up?
I remember that. What's up with me and you?
What's up with me
Oh
and you? You
man.
feel me? That was the game. So
Before
where
that,
do we
it
go
was
from
like, do
here?
you like me? Yes or no?
Oh, yeah, yes or no, right. Yeah, I mean,
But
and if y'all can
now
see,
it's
if y'all can see my comment right here, what the fuck does where do we go from here mean? You know what I'm saying? Like, so yeah, we was confused.
yeah,
So we
yeah.
got where do we go from here? The sister say, where would you like to go? We're gonna assume this is a sister. I don't want to gender them just in case, but who knows? That could have been anybody. Uh, we should. He responds, we should set up a Dutch date. Uh, the response is typical, laughing my fucking ass off. And what is a Dutch date? He responds, well, being that it's our first outing and we don't know if we're interested in each other, it's way to make sure intentions is pure. I pay for my food, you pay for yours, I'll eat a tip. Second date on me. Okay. So a Dutch date. Um, what do you think about? I want to know. What do you think about this attempt? Like this type of dating, this approach.
Um,
What do you feel like? How do you feel about a nigga just being like, look, I don't fucking know you. You could be just trying to use me for a meal. So, in case that's what you really trying to do, see if you really trying to fuck with me, you're gonna pay for your own dinner. I'm gonna pay for my dinner. I'll leave a tip. And then if you really fuck with me and we hit it off on the second date, it's on me.
it's on me.
How would you respond to that?
So obviously, this is a pretty unorthodox rendition of texting to get to know someone. I think ultimately for me is all about the text game, whether or not I even want to date you. So
The
for him
text
to
game.
the
Oh man,
text game,
I didn't been out of the
the
game for
text
a
game. All
minute.
listen, all ladies know we have to be interested to be interested. You know what
Okay.
I mean?
Okay.
Listen, for me to actually go on a date, you have to be interested enough for me to sit down with you. It has to be that. I have to be interested first. So your text game got to show something. I got to
But let
have
me
some
ask you this though:
some
what
conversation.
about should brothers not? I mean, you got sisters going viral because they posting on their Instagram and they Snapchat. Oh, I'm just here to get a meal.
Ugh.
You know what I'm saying?
You know what?
Dude, I mean, and
They
again, this is something else I think was fake, but they show him saying, "Oh, I'm so nervous. It's our first date." Da 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 da, and they show her saying, "Ha ha, I'm just finessing this nigga for dinner." Like
mm,
niggas see that shit and be like, "Okay, so I don't know you,
it's
and you
definitely
could just be broke trying to get a meal."
it's
Fuck, I
definitely a
look like
trend going around with women finessing. That's what they call it, finessing men for meals. I think that they have every right to be apprehensive about it. However, I think that it's still for me. I'm a traditional woman, and like I said, I make it interesting for me to get there, but for it to be like a Dutch date, I don't know. For my traditionally, I will say no. I can't take that. I want a man to
traditional.
feel
Are you a
me,
traditional woman though?
but for
With your
dating, I
occultic ass talking about tradition.
listen. For dating, I do not think that if a man asks me on a date that I should say I should go Dutch. No, you're asking me out on a date now. Unconventionally, I will ask out. I will ask someone out. I will ask now. Initiating it? No, not at all. However, if we already made that initiation and we already passed that point, I will ask, hey, I got somewhere I set up something because I am a super, super romantic person. I love to do all kinds of romantic things, romantic gestures, all these things. However, for traditionally, yeah, you're gonna pay for the first date. I mean, and like you're gonna know what type of woman you're dealing with, whether or not she's finessing you or whether or not you you're serious about her. That's why I always say before you actually go on a date, get to know that person. It's phones. We're living in a media world right now. It's so many means of communication before
Oh,
that actual date happens.
you talking about doing a
So
lot.
no, but listen, why can't you take 3 or 4 phone calls, 30-minute conversations to get to know someone to actually not go that
Well,
far as
that's what we
going
used to do
Dutch?
back in the day. That's what we
I
used to
mean,
do back in the
listen,
day.
what is it gonna hurt you? Instead of getting to the point where you have to go Dutch, why can't you just talk to that person so you can see if you want to even take them on a date? That's where I'm at.
Yeah, I do think I think it's a little, and I ain't even a
It's no
traditional nigga,
consolation to no one
but
that they getting to know each other to even see if it's worthy of a date.
yeah, I mean, but see, this is the thing. I think it's corny. I think a nigga asking to go Dutch with a woman is corny. This is why.
It's corny as hell.
This is why. You feel me? You gonna know whether or not she trying to finesse you out of meal.
Thank you.
You
We
gonna know that.
ain't gonna know. You're
You know what
gonna
I'm
know
saying?
who you're dealing with.
And ultimately, if you a secure nigga, your attraction will turn into feeling sorry for her ass and just feed her so she won't starve.
Yes,
I'm here.
I agree.
Any sister that's out here finessing niggas for meals and you feel like you gotta guard yourself from that, one, financially, you shouldn't be trying to be on dates, no way.
Emphasis on secure, a secure man. A secure man means so much more than an insecure man. I am
And
telling you now.
right, and I think there's a sense of insecurity there because I'm not gonna be engaged with a woman thinking like, all right, I mean, you talking to me, so we can go out, but I don't know if you really just talking to me for a meal or not.
I
Is
think
that
he
something that
definitely
niggas is really concerned about? Like
I think
for
he
real?
definitely got some complexes in other areas he's trying to make up for it.
It
Because
gotta be.
it has to be because at the end of the day, I think that you're going to take a risk in dating, no matter what. You're going to
Period.
take a
No matter
risk.
what. Yeah.
So, like I said, prematurely, I would say get to know that person over the phone or over the text message. However, people like. Do that. Then you will know, hey, I want to take you on a date. That way, you will have that security already in place because you know that woman. You're going to find out so much more on the phone call than you probably would on that actual date anyway.
Facts.
Because oftentimes people are not themselves, they're shy. There's so many things, happening while you get to feel their vibe. But over the phone, a lot of people tell on themselves in the first 5 days.
I
First five
mean,
days, people tell on themselves.
yeah, I mean, because that's what I feel like that's the harder thing to do. The one thing that I learned, because like I said, I was a little shy coming up. But the one thing that I could have a conversation. I could hold a conversation.
Absolutely.
Um, what I learned once I got older was that was my game. Like the fact
Mm-hmm.
that I would be nervous, so I would just talk. You know what I'm saying? I'll just
Mm-hmm.
find something to talk about. And the
Mm-hmm.
fact that I would be able to hold the conversation would be like, okay, we actually talking about
I'm
something. And
carrying
then I
it.
wouldn't
Yeah.
just listen, I would talk. Like I would
Mm-hmm.
engage, like I would provide what I think, and they
Mm-hmm.
would listen to me, and then I would listen back. I'm like, okay, what you think about this? And come to find out, that don't happen a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Most women don't have niggas talking to them, trying to figure out, oh, yo, you know what I'm saying? So it's like a conversation is telling, and the problem is most niggas don't know how to
Absolutely.
hold a conversation.
They don't. And like you said, most men are insecure. He was insecure. That guy that wrote that message was
We ain't gonna
definitely
say
insecure
most
about
men
some
are
shit.
insecure, girl. You're not gonna do
Oh,
that to the
oh,
nigga.
I'm
You're not gonna do
so
that to my
sorry. Yeah, I'm so sorry. I take that back. Most men not. I was thinking about the guy in the message. I am
niggas who
so
move
sorry.
like that. Yeah, niggas who move
Yes,
like that.
insecure.
Yeah,
Yes, I'm
that's
so
a question.
sorry.
I was about to say, girl, you better
Thank you
talk about
for
that most
correcting me.
men.
I am so sorry. Not most men. Make sure you edit that out.
Yeah.
Most
Nah, that's
men are not.
tight.
No, the guy in the message was definitely insecure, and the guys that talk like that are insecure when they say those things. Because if he was secure into himself, 50 to $100 on a date isn't nothing to lose because you're going to take a risk no matter what. When you're sleeping with her, when you're dating her, when you're talking to her, when you come over her place, not knowing who she hangs around, not knowing who he hangs around, you can heck go to somebody's house and he get shot up because he just did something earlier that day. You're taking a risk no matter what. So, what is a meal? You're that cautious about your life? You're
Yeah, that mean it
that
happened to you
meticulous?
before. That mean it happened to you before, though.
It had to have happened to him
That mean it
before. He
happened to you
got
before.
played.
I
He
think, yeah,
showed
because
himself through that message, and she should have
yeah,
not
yeah, he hurt.
responded after that.
He hurt. I mean, because it's one of them things to where I think ultimately you go back to the beginning of the message. If a nigga start out talking about some,
Absolutely.
where do we go from here? Like, nigga, you not aggressive. You not for nigga. You gotta be forward. You a man. I mean, I don't. We not gonna leave those normative
Aggression.
concepts
You know
of
what?
masculinity is one thing, but at the same time, it's like, bro, if you're gonna play coy, you gotta play coy in like a slick. You know what I'm
Yes,
saying? Like if you're gonna be like, all right,
listen.
so I'm trying to see
I
what's next. You know what I'm saying? Like,
absolutely.
you know what I
And
mean? Where do we
me,
go
for
from here?
me, as a woman, I can't say that I would want to talk to him after that because honestly, communication and the way you talk and the way you present yourself to me says a whole lot about you. I
I feel
have
like after
men
he
all
said
the
that Dutch date
time.
shit, she was done.
Yeah, I have men all the time in my inbox and they would say little stupid stuff. Honestly, the more stupid you present yourself, the more apprehensive I am, the more reluctant I am about responding to you because it's not gonna happen if you're in that conversation. It would have got a block, to delete his number, probably wouldn't have even saved his number, but never would have had gotten that far.
Hold on, so was that
We
a text
wouldn't
conversation?
got
Because I
on
don't
that.
is that
It was
iPhone
like a
or
text.
that's a
It was
text?
like a
Okay.
text
I was
conversation.
like, I don't
Yeah,
know if they was doing that on Facebook or what it
yeah.
is. I don't know. Like I think I've been out of the game for so long.
He wouldn't have
Like,
got that far to save and Dutch. It would have not. Mm-mm.
yeah, because that just don't. I mean, the thing about it is, it's just like, do I buy into like the traditional normative way that relationships should happen? No, I don't. I think how people fuck with each
That's
other is
innovative.
it should be organic. You know what I'm
It's
saying?
and I think
But
every relationship is innovative. You create your
yeah,
own type
yeah.
of
Everybody got
relationship.
their own story. Everybody got their own story.
Absolutely. Hmm.
But I think something as simple as, like, I don't know if it's just a question of me being traditional, you know what I'm saying, or if it's this thing about like the masculinity that I kind of grew up with. It's just that you pay. You pay. That's why I was the type shit. If I ain't paying, I ain't gonna ask you. You know what I'm saying? Like that's really what it is. If I ain't paying, like you can come to the crib.
It says
We
a
can
whole
hang out.
lot if you don't. And
I
me,
was a
for
lot
me,
younger though. I was a lot younger when I used to do that though.
I have paid for dates before. I have went down that road where I asked. I even, set the whole thing up, whatever. However, I do think that we as women expect men to pay. And I think men are kind of getting tired of that because obviously we know we're moving out of tradition. We're moving into a different world. We're moving away from tradition. I know you haven't been in that on the market for a while,
For
but
a
this
long
market
time.
is definitely crashing,
It's
and that
bad for y'all.
is
Sade
bad.
said, am I the only one that could tell by men's last 3 Facebook posts if I should even talk to a guy? You know what? If we going on Facebook
That's
posts,
good.
if we going by Facebook posts, a woman would probably be turned off by my personality. I'm abrasive on Facebook. I talk shit.
Yeah,
I don't use Facebook to be like, ooh, like my status. Like, nah, I
super
post.
rhetorical too.
Yeah,
Super
I post
rhetorical.
very aggressive. Matter of fact, I don't even like people commenting on my shit. Don't comment. I don't want to know what you
Wait,
think.
why?
You know what I'm saying?
So
Don't
you
be
will
like, I have
pose
a
a
question.
question that
Yeah,
had that warrants a respond with and don't want a response.
it's rhetorical.
You were very rhetorical.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
seen
it's
that with your
rhetorical.
last stat. And I was like trying to dissect it so much because I know you're rhetorical. And I'm like, this is not. He's rhetorical. You was like, I'm just trying to see what y'all feel about this. You was like, what's your
Are you talking
take
about
on black people
can
being
black people
yeah,
being racist shit?
very
Yeah.
outrageous?
I'm trying to see what y'all
And
saying. Like, I mean, well, like that is just like throw it in there real quick. We ain't gonna talk about it. Just throw it in there. You
yeah,
see, you ain't see me respond to nothing. It was just like just throw it in there. You feel me?
based off
So
your chart, you definitely don't care what other people. No, not
I
gonna
don't.
change your mind.
Yeah.
Oftentimes though, when we do put up a stat, it's not gonna change someone's mind. They already have their mindset on it. But for me to answer your question, Sade, I absolutely go to their Facebook page and do a little scan and see who they are. Look at their pictures. I dig for in pictures because pictures tell a story. But the
They do.
statuses definitely
Definitely tell the
tells,
story.
yeah, who you are, how you think, what type of
Yo,
things you're
and
interested in, where your mind frame is at that point.
right,
Yeah,
right, right.
all
Especially
the things.
especially nowadays, like what somebody is willing to post. Not even just what they said
Absolutely,
specifically, but what they're willing to post. You know what I'm saying?
absolutely.
Like my wife, I actually because like we got like a real, you know what I'm saying? Our relationship is like it's trust. You know what I'm saying? Like we
Hmm.
good. So like she she know how I am on Facebook. And
Hmm.
so instead of like trying to tell me that I should change, she just got off Facebook altogether.
Wow.
Yeah, I mean, because she's a
Wow.
lot more polished, she's a lot more buttoned up. So,
Hmm.
she's one of those like she works in corporate America. You know what I mean, like
Hmm.
she doing human resources. So it's like she's somebody who is like all about when you present yourself publicly, like your image
Hmm.
should be well crafted. So
Absolutely.
not to leave room for error or for people to kind of create some bullshit off of what you give them. So with her
Absolutely.
saying that or being that type of person, and then me being the type of person I am on social media, where I don't give a fuck. You know what I'm saying? Like even my mama at
Ruthless.
this point gotta understand. You feel me?
Ruthless.
You know what I mean? It's like she's
Wait,
like,
wait, wait. You got your mom as a friend on Facebook?
my mama is a friend. I tell my
Oh
mama to listen to my
man.
podcast. I tell my
Oh
mama
yeah.
because if she say anything about me cussing, the one thing that she's already admitted, I get it honest. So it's one of them things.
Shout out to Political Plug's mom.
Yeah, man. Shout
Shout
out to
out.
my mama.
But you know what? I don't think I can have my mom on my page. My uncles and aunts on my page, and I still get uncomfortable posting stuff. Me, I
Oh
don't
no,
even tell
y'all
my
good. Y'all
mom.
gonna have to see that. Y'all gonna have to see
I get
that. I mean,
uncomfortable.
cause it's like,
I get
listen, it's
uncomfortable.
like, hey, this is. I'm not gonna act like this in front of you. I may talk like a little like this in front of you, but hey, when I'm out in the world, this is like it's the plug.
This is this
This is
is.
my moniker. Like it's like this is really what I do. So it's
Absolutely.
I'm not gonna hold back. So in terms of like a woman looking at my Facebook status and thinking like, you know what I'm saying? Like he a smart ass. That's that's what that's what
You know
somebody would say
what?
looking at my 3 statuses. All I'm gonna do is talk shit. I probably wouldn't get no play. You know
I'm
what? I may be a
very
different nigga on social media if I was single. So who knows?
I'm all over
maybe
the
I'll be a lot
place.
more vain about what I post. You know what I'm saying?
My page is all over the place. I don't know what a man would gather from my Facebook page
Oh
if he
boy,
was to
nigga,
make an
listen. Going
assessment
through
on
your shit, a
me.
nigga better he gonna like a nigga be he gonna be better come prepared. Better come
I'm
prepared.
all over the. I mean, I'm talking about one end of the spectrum to the next. It's so much in between. So he get what he get. He gonna get a lot. He definitely, if he look at my page and make an assessment on me, he would definitely say, "Wow, she's loaded. Like he gonna get a lot."
Nah, as soon as you
Mhm.
start using words like the occult and that type of shit, niggas be like, okay, she's a witch.
I'm
Nigga
definitely
up
a
there gonna be like,
witch.
yeah, bro. I don't know. I think
I've been
nigga,
called a witch a few times.
I
So
don't know. Is she a Wiccan or some shit? I don't know.
yeah, all of
Nigga,
it.
you know her Harry Potter
Yeah,
shit, bro. I don't think
yeah, 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 yeah. Indigo,
you.
starseed, witch.
Right,
Oh
right. So yeah,
man, oh
know,
man,
all
you
you gotta do is
name it.
sage. You
Yeah,
feel me? Get this shit together.
yeah.
But hey, we've been on here for about, you know what I'm saying, a little over an hour. You know what I'm saying?
Mm. Kicking it with
Always
y'all.
a wonderful conversation. Sade said we should do a Facebook assessment of pages, y'all's and others. That's interesting. That's interesting. You know what I'm saying? Just kind of go through somebody's statuses. But you know, we would have to get permission from people. We can't just be stealing people's shit off their shit and putting it on our podcast.
Facebook is public.
Oh, it
Hey,
is. It
and it's
is.
public information. If you got a page, it's public information. Just
Yeah, I
know
check
that.
this out. Yeah, if y'all want the over 30 Facebook assessment. Cause you know when me and Ted started, we did a show where we was doing like what niggas need to stop doing on social media. You know what I'm saying? So we can go back. Cause you know, I think this is something that always need to be revisited. You know what I mean?
It
Like,
definitely
you
can be.
especially when it's just like shit. A lot of what we do is on social media already. So shit, your personality, I can figure out who you are as a person.
I definitely
Hmm,
can. I can
hmm.
definitely make. Yeah, I
We
can
gonna have
make a pretty good assessment on someone
to
by just
I
looking
you
at the
can do the natal
page.
chart read, and I do a
I
Facebook.
meant to
I
say
look
I
through
steal your
Facebook.
birthday. Listen, I do it all. I will gather so much information on you. I do it all. Um,
Yeah. Hey, so we
whatever.
actually, hey, stay tuned. You know what I'm saying? We may have
Yeah,
something
we're
going
gonna
down
do
the
that.
line. Anything else you want to say to the people before we head out?
People, it was great. We had fun. We had fun. We got a little messy today. We got a little messy. We
Hey,
did a
don't judge the Over
little
30
drama.
podcast. We talk about what people talk about, goddamn it.
Hey, yes, yes,
You know
yes.
what I'm saying? We talk about what people talk about. We're gonna take it to another level, but if people talk about it, we're gonna talk about it. So we was messy today. Get over it. Anyway, yeah, I mean, glad y'all was able to join us. Y'all make sure y'all like the page. Y'all make sure y'all follow the page. Make sure y'all subscribe to us at the Over 30 Podcast on YouTube. We will be back next Tuesday, same time. You know what I'm saying? Same place.
Same
Well, two
place.
different places, but y'all know how it go. All right, y'all be easy. We out. And that is